Today's tutorial is about creating live animation to produce dynamic presentation. I'm going to be using the Explain Everything app to create my animation presentation. So here are a couple of chromosomes, and I'm just going to try to give you a really brief primer about genotyping, how we distinguish AF16s from HK104s. They look identical. You can't tell them apart by looking at them. The only way we can distinguish them is we know that there are sequence differences between these two populations, so we have to do some sequence analysis of their DNA to know which one we're working with. So if we took those two chromosomes and we lined them up like that, can you see where the sequence difference is in this example? The top one, this top line is Gattaca, and here it's Gat-Caca. You can't really spell anything interesting with 4 letters. Amino acids, fine. DNA, it's horrible. Okay, so there is one DNA sequence difference right there in the middle. Right, so those are the 4 letters of DNA, and we're looking at the sequences of an AF16 chromosome on top, Gattaca, and HK104 on the bottom. The Explain Everything app is really useful for performing sort of on-the-fly manual animations during a presentation. So I'm going to show you briefly how I do this. This is a slide, one of 6, down here in the bottom, that I have imported from a PowerPoint set of slides. And so these images at the top here are static images. I can't press and hold them or drag them or anything like that using the hand button that allows you normally to move objects around. What I want to do is animate having some additional graphics dropped in. There are 2 ways to do this. One is a little bit clunkier, which is the way I'm not going to show you, which would be to use this button up top here that will add items from an existing camera roll or let you add new cameras you take with your iPhone, iPad, tablet, or camera, tablet or telephone camera. Instead, what I've already done is I've already added some graphical elements to this slide, and this is the way the slide appears to the audience as it's being projected, but there are things outside of this frame that you can't see right now, and here's how you access them. Use the magnify button in the lower right hand corner, and that opens up a small menu with 3 items: reset, a ninja, and a lock sign. We want to press the ninja, and that, you'll see, turns stealth zoom mode on. And when stealth zoom mode is on, I can pinch with my fingers and zoom out, and that lets me see items that are outside of the presentation. So the audience at this point only sees the items that are inside the red box. So that's the only part of this screen still that's being projected to the audience. They just see my 2 little images of worms and their names, AF16 and HK104. Using the hand tool now, I can grab items that are off of the presentation and drag them into the presentation. So the audience just sees this floating in from the left side of the screen and stopping. And I can do the same thing over here, and I'm looking at the DNA sequences in this example of 2 different populations of the same species of worm. So I can drag in other items. You can have them grouped already if you want to. You can create these objects that are outside of the presentation, either in Explain Everything using its drawing tools, or you can create the graphics outside of Explain Everything. In this case, I used Adobe Illustrator to make these graphics, and then I simply put those image files into my camera roll, and then I used the add insert new existing image feature to drop all of those images into the presentation. I scaled them in Explain Everything by using the inspector tool. You can select an item, and in this case, up in the upper right, I locked the rotation and the scale of these items so that they're all the same size, and so that when I'm dragging them around with my finger in Explain Everything while I'm recording, I don't accidentally rotate one or rescale it to lose this relative scale of all of the items that I've got here. This video was made using Apple's free Clips app.